For the next DLC, players were asking for every known pantheon, except Nihon. Shintoism is known for its vengeful spirits, not some authoritar gods. Playing with the whole zoo can be interesting in a Ghost Master clone, but the AOM structure requires a pantheon of gods and creatures conscripted into an army, not a bunch of bin counters or disrespected household appliances wanting to haunt one person individually. It was very easy to flop Japs after the China debacle. It's another Asian civilization, so, imagine getting the Roman pantheon on top of original Greek and Atlantean. And unlike the easiest pick of Pangu for China, what can even pass as a Jap titan? Then there's of course the weeb trap. They needed to make this without katanas slicing bullets and Jigglypuff schoolgirls fighting evil. Well, we did get a schoolgirl fighting evil, but no Jigglypuffs or abundance of ninjas. They did manage to dig out the less popular creation myth of Japan that ignores the part where they are just 3 waves of proto-Chinese immigrants who came to the islands from different sides, and how lucky the popular Susanoo has 2 less popular siblings, Amaterasu, sun goddess as presumably the boss of Shintoism, despite being a daughter of Izanagi, and Tsukuyomi, the moon god who is often entirely omitted from the creation myth adaptations, or outright merged with Orochi. After they run out of realer gods, they put whatever rabble they could find into the roles of minor gods. Who cares? Only Greek had so many gods that Hero had to be turned into a minor god, and they already had to elevate Freya to a major god. The main gimmick of the civilization is that some units constantly generate XP for the Chinese-type circle thingy, and the 3 main gods give something on the level-ups. All 3 upgrade all units for free, so you can save some cash that way. Tiramisu gives free gold, gives some mana, and Tsuki no Usagi buffs some units. It takes forever to reach the last tier. To get the achievement I reached the population cap with the most experiencing units and was still idling for far too long. The mana is generated with a separate type of peasants who are heroes and healers. They can build temples and shrines. The shrine is taking into account the resources that surround it, and the priestess working the shrine generates the according amount of mana. So, if you want to have more mana, you have to sacrifice some resources. Thankfully, just the woods work more or less fine, and the peasants usually avoid cutting them if they are turned into sakuras. In the 4th age there's also an upgrade that turns shrines into foresters from Dizidla. There's also a spell that generates deer near the shrine, which either boosts its generation even more, or can be used as an infinite food source. The other spells are mostly for combat. The 1st tier offers a shield, a very weak damage spell, and an awesome economic spell from Tsukuyomi. You cast it on a building, and it researches almost every upgrade for free. Dropping it on a late-age blacksmith is just magic. And now with the ability to recast the spells in Retold, you can use it instead of spending resources on the most expensive upgrades. Besides the deer shrines, the 2nd tier offers a damage spell that looks big, but I never saw it doing anything. It wastes the popular Kappa on nothing, and the game actually has Kappa units, but they are campaign exclusive. The last T2 spell creates a capturable building, which respawns the freshest dead myth units. It's not as OP as it sounds, because while it is producing 1 unit, it can queue only another one. Everything else dies forever. And worst of all, it doesn't respawn the scouts and naval units. The 3rd tier offers 2 very disruptive combat spells and an upgrade for hero horses. One at a time, affected hero horse becomes stronger and accumulates damage dealt to spawn a free samurai. Pretty fun in super small raids. T4 offers 2 nukes and a capturable building that lowers the mana prices of the spells.
指示ある。はい。行くね。了解。
The Japanese unit speech sounds like very modern Japanese, but it does sound good for some reason. The human units don't really matter in the age of mythology. And then Japan has almost no interesting skins. China has 诸葛弩, and even javelins are still uncommon, though their exoticism value has significantly dropped after they were popularized by AoE 2. Japan only has spears, just spears, archers, just archers, cavalry, just cavalry, and cave archers, just cave archers. The only popular normal soldier is samurai, and it's a decent fighter. But a swordsman is a swordsman, and every game already has samurais. I consider shinobis to be a special unit, but the game considers them normal units, so there's that. Shinobis are a strong fun siege infantry. It's not very stealthy or assassin-y, when it's 60 shinobis bringing down castle walls in seconds, and then disassembling the whole castle, while cutting down heavy cavalry charges. The trader is unmanned deer. The normal soldiers matter so little for Japan because of their hero system. They can just produce a flood of them. Why would you use spears, when you can get spears, but hero, which is saving them from being bullied by myth units? Why would you use archers, when you have archers, but hero? Why would you need cavalry, when you have cavalry but hero? And then Japanese have siege, but hero. A ranged tanky armored hero unit with a very strong AoE attack with siege and anti-myth bonuses, which can also heal. It's a universal soldier. It's fun and it's super strong. I cannot see how PvP cucks would not demand to nerf and break it to death. The normal siege engine is AoE 2 style scorpions, but with a siege range. Tooltips say it's not as good at siege as others, because it's good against units. But it's not that good against units. The myth unit selection doesn't focus on the popular options everyone wanted to see. The starter is a suicidal scout kitsune. It theoretically can buff allies, but as a scout it just dies. Next, a choice between not popular kamaitachi that actually fits as a combat unit, spider girls who bully humans, and a flamethrower. Then a pick between chargers, yet another dog thing, and yet another giant, but with berserking ability. The final choice is actually decent. The bird is terrible against buildings, but drops summons to the ground. The giant has an additional on-the-move auto attack. It doesn't work when standing ground, though, and the zombie breaks enemy formations and can respawn. The naval units are a swim trunks snake that bullies ships, and amphibian dudes replacing salamanders. They struggle a bit to find embarkable shores and get stuck in everything, but they are still fun. After the Chinese flop, the Jap Titan is beyond what I hoped for. Literally, Yamata no Orochi. Picking Titans outside the Greek pantheon is stupid. In the second campaign it was at least a real fight between the Titans. Well, kinda. But as units the Titans are random giants unrelated to Titans. Even Greeks got a Cerberus instead of a Titan. The next time there was a boomer of gods is Pangu. But when he was replaced with a dude, just dude, I lost all hope. As a father of god, Izanagi or Izanami could work. But since the concept is to call any random oversized trash a Titan, I gladly take Orochi. With the new patch came new changes, and the patches are an exercise in degradation for the current generation entries in this series. The transports are literally broken. I tell them to disembark the units, they reach the shore and then return all the way back with all the units. The attack move is broken even more than before. Instead of targeting the nearest target or load balancing, the units now go after the huts. It already sucked with them chasing all the units while being pelted from towers and castles, but now they sometimes ignore all of that and go for the huts first. There are new and exciting random defeats for no reason in hour-long games where you were obviously winning. Well, after some research it turns out it's even worse. Now there's a bug that added editor controls into other game modes. Pressing Ctrl F1 to F12 switches between the players and gives you full control. There are new daily slop tasks that give nothing useful. Reeks of desperation to boost concurrence for shareholders. Not every game has to be online only. Slop with dailies. There's the more roguelite slop or something with the gauntlet, but it says beta, so I didn't touch unfinished slop. The FOMification and online only crap continues and accelerates. Now there are monthly stupid AI slop portraits for the gods. Oh yes, Hell, the goddess of Mexican Day of the Dead. Wait, what? Premium slop buyers can even enjoy the exclusive OnlyFans AI slop portrait of
つくよみ
Take That
やおい
fangirls. For the most part, the campaign has decent writing, like the protagonist girl is not an instant warrior, and daddy is chaperoning her, at that age of history, in that type of a story, in that area of the world, localized entirely within the island. The aristocracy are assholes too, despite being a part of the good guys. The bad parts are the maps 8 and 11 because it's postmodernistic cancer and fanfiction writing. Unlike the Trident, they didn't bother to keep the sides in check, and gave players a try of every god. So, you use Spider Girls when fighting against the big Spider Girl, and for a half of the missions your main god is
スサノオ
The ending is a bit weak. A battle against a titan should be smart, with a scripted victory after doing some helpful tasks. Not this skirmish nonsense where a titan is just a generic unit. How is this an existential threat, when 15 guys bully a titan to death? Invasion. Your main hero is a full medic, and in this game attack move makes medics walk to the point, instead of seeking the nearest hurt target. There are campaign-only tanukis, a medic that heals in AoE on the walk. Their pathfinding sucks. They are never where you need them, they just give up and stand in one place. It's a semi-tactical mission. Even on standard the enemy puts up a fight. You start with an attack move corridor, until you get some buildings and some peasants, but not the full tech tree and nothing is explained. The actual tutorial comes after you finish the map. It's not diegetic and it is breaking the story flow a bit. The Mountain King. Chasing the
Soldier boy, tell.
You reach the mountain that starts as a tactical map until you reach the settlement. The protagonists call the enemies Tengu, but they have more humans working for them than the aristocrat. So, who's more of a people's person? After reaching the settlement it turns into a typical Age 3 map, and a half of it is unused. You can't even see it hidden in the fog of war. Caught in the Web is an Age 3 defense map. It's possible to counterattack, reducing the pressure, but there's not that much time until the final fight. And you have to man the central gate, and heal and support the side gates. Then, the final attack comes from the orange side, so don't get caught with your pants down on the right. Crossroads has
安倍の生命
the
陰陽師
of popular culture. It's the first Age 4 map. The goals are to save villagers from Kappas and destroy cursed shrines, after which attack the main enemy base. Leave No Trace is a naval map which showcases the new broken transports. In Age 4 you can finally see both the naval units and play with them. The goal is to destroy the temples and build your own in their place. If you feel petty you should destroy the purple before finishing all the temples, because purple is not a part of the goal. Shinobi starts with a short tactical excursion. After you reach the settlement, your attackers are no longer your enemies. Your goal is to protect 2 settlements and then get the enemy's castle. With some micro it's possible to deal with both hostile camps fast. The horse hero generates more samurais when dealing damage so you can assemble a moderate attack force on the move. Then it's just an Age 4 siege map, and now you have shinobis. There are 2 scripted entrances into the enemy's castle. The red giant starts with an intro that will not come true. The research spell instantly goes into blacksmith, so the first camp is easy to raid. Then you need a medic to patch up the troops while you build up an economy. Then comes the interesting part. A strong army will march towards the main enemy gates escorting tasty peasants, so you need some hero archers to deal with them and eat the tender peasants yourself. After which it's just destroying the 2 castles. There are 2 backdoors, but since one of them is guarded by a fleet, it means there's one proper backdoor. There's some relics, there's free tanukis. Reunion. Analnian. It's a stupid impossible plot point featuring Atlantean and Norse settlements in Japan. This is so damn pants on head neurodivergent. You literally have China neighbors. If you got sick of Civil War maps, use China. And the stupid writing is non-diegetically memeing at Age of Mythology. The Titans.
The way these foreigners fight is almost as quaint as their strange tongues. Herr Joes, Bullwreck, something? Surely these cannot be real words.
You start with a tactical segment where you collect some Norse and Atlantean units, Then swap for the second part with a different army where you do the same, and try to avoid big settlements. When you reach the goal, you get a village and it's a normal RTS map after that, with an optional goal to destroy gaijins. Then just besiege the red castle.
雨のぬぼこ
So, you discover that the enemy worships
スサノ
but you already spent half the campaign with
スサノ
The Trident added a dream sequence to let you play with Hades, but these devs do not care about storytelling. It's a tiny tactical attack move map, but what's unusual is that you can pick any of the 3 goals. Diversion has an achievement for skipping the first task. The goal is to besiege a cyborg factory that has infinite resources. It asked for this. It's
陰陽師
spam o'clock. Get the relevant upgrades, reach the population cap with On Myoji. With assist from some scorpions, they have longer range and can help destroying production buildings from the second line. And in AOM they are healed by human doctors, not repaired by peasants. Behind enemy lines is Ars. FFS. Not only there was the stupid map 8 with other civs, there's this one with
Gnomes!
And
Eas
here. Ew. And then Robert from Twilight Saga kissed Harry Potter while Frodo and Peppa Pig were watching because Elsa was giving birth to Spider-Man's Joker. This is neurodivergent in the head
yaoi
fangirl tier writing. It's a stupid tactical one-intestine map. If not for the 3 scripted events, it would be an entirely attack move type map. Unending Night. Stop me if you heard this one before. It's a typical map where the Titan goes on a path and destroys things. This one is a circle to mirror the previous AOM Titan maps. The side objective is to rush past and to collect the peasants. The main objective is to besiege a castle and get the boss before the Titan reaches you. After you get the boss, just on Myoji the Titan to death. Or flyers probably work, since Titans can't catch them. After the ending there's a stupid outro where Athena is yapping about nukes, and some such nonsense. Who asked your white ass to yap here in the Japanese campaign? This was actually fun to play, so I expect everything to be nerfed to death for the sake of Espart's baller cucks, who don't even play this game. Never did. Only AoE 2 had some Espart's balls presence.